Hello, welcome back to Dry Creek Beekeeping. Today is finally the day. The bees are here. It is so good to have bees back. It's great. But there is only one issue. The shipping information said that they were coming tomorrow, and they came today, which means I am completely unprepared. I was expecting for them to come tomorrow, so I'd actually have time to get everything set up and ready. That was not the case. The post office was not called when they got here, so I got a slightly panicked call from the post office saying, hey, the bees are here, come get them right now. And then the other issue is I have none of the beehives actually set up yet. They're all still here in their storage positions. And the reason I have to do it today is because tomorrow it's going to be thunderstorming all day, and the day after that it's going to be a little bit too cold for me to install the bees. So today is my only option. All right, and there we go. I got everything set up and on the four-wheeler, including the bees. And the sun sets at almost 8, so let's hope that we can get the bees all set up and in their new homes before then, because I don't really want to be working with them at night. But if I have to, and that's my only option, then that's the way it's going to be. Another thing that you might notice is all of these hives are BeeCastle hives. This year, I'm planning on switching everything over to BeeCastle because it is so much nicer than these things, just the wooden boxes. These hives here, they're wax coated, they're built much stronger and of much more high quality materials, and they just look nicer as well. I mean, look at them. And they are surprisingly affordable. These really didn't cost much more than these do. And they're gonna last me way longer, and they're just better. A link to BeeCastle's website to buy some of these hives will be in the description. All right, so now I'm back down here at the bee yard, finally, with bees again for the first time since December. And I got somebody to help me. Since I have a broken hand, she's gonna be helping me basically do everything I can. I still have a glove on over the cast, although as you can see, my hand's not actually in it, so can't use it. I only got this one. All right, so without any further ado, let's get on with putting these bees into their new homes. In typical Dry Creek beekeeping fashion, another thing broke. The tripod broke, so thank God I have another person here to help me. So first things first, we have to disconnect all these boxes from each other, so that way they're better and easier to work with. That process is pretty simple. All you need, per usual, is a hive tool. And you can see how a bee package works here. So all the bees are clustered around at the top for warmth. In the middle here, there's a can, you can barely see it. And the queen is going to be on this side, and you can tell partially because there's more bees over here, and then you can also tell because the queen's little strip here that keeps her from falling to the bottom is on this side. So let's move this over to the hive that we're going to install it in, and then go from there. All right, next step, I don't know if all companies do this, but the company that I buy from does do this. They put a little thing over the feeder, so we have to pop that off now. Again, you don't need any fancy tools while doing anything. You just got a hive tool. This is it. This is everything. You can see the bees are actually pretty calm today compared to other videos I've made on this. The weather is not ideal for installing bees. Just a couple days ago, we had a snowstorm. Then a couple days before that, it was in the 80s. And now it's only about 55 out right now, which is about the limit for when you can install these. But I really don't have any other choice. Like I said earlier in the video, today is my only shot. All right, now we got to remove this can here. And this is probably the most annoying part of the process because these things just never want to come out for some reason. They just like getting stuck there. And there we go.
Oh, there's a couple on the bottom.
Usually there's an entire like string.
I know,
Oh,
I was waiting for that.
shoot. You're kidding.
What happened?
Hive beetles.
Hold on, let's get a close up on that.
That's right about the last thing that I want to see here. Hive beetles are not native here in northwestern Illinois, but they can destroy a hive. So I'm not exactly sure what to do here. I guess I'm just gonna kill it. And I also should probably get my hood up. The bees are starting to fly around.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
These hives come from Georgia, where there are hive beetles. And it makes me a little bit worried that there should be hive beetles, because this might be a weaker colony already just because of that fact. Just gonna set this can off to the side. It is full still, so these bees came fast. And now we gotta get the queen out of the way. Actually, wait, first, gotta remove a couple frames here, or a few frames, so that the bees have room to fall in there. And as you can see, all these frames already have wax on them. So the bees are getting off to a very, very good start this year. So long as the weather stays nice, that is.
Fingers crossed.
All right, there we go. And now let's not let the queen fall. And there she is. Shake some of those bees off. Look at that. There she is right there. Yeah, so what you're gonna wanna do is just pick up the hive and start shaking them in there. You can kind of start out by dumping them in there. At a certain point, you gotta really shake them. This is very interesting and very annoying. The queen has no worker attendants. That's not ideal. Typically, they put the queen with worker attendants so that they can actually feed her. She has none. And also, the candy is covered by this thing, which is also very annoying. All right, it was actually pretty easy to get that candy exposed. All right, I'm gonna get this queen in there as quick as possible, because without her worker attendants, she's not gonna be in very good shape. All right, so I'm just gonna cut a little slot in, maybe not that frame, I'll do it in this frame, because it's more available for the queen. All right, so the queen is now sitting in this comb here. So I'm going to gently set this down into the hive and kind of squash her in between these frames, but not too much, just very, very gently. Just enough so that the bees can still get to her so that she can survive, and I'm still able to fit all 10 frames in here. Now, let's see if I can get a good camera angle here. I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of these frames in and then close up this hive. I'm kind of lucky here that it's not too warm and it's later in the day, because the bees really aren't flying around that much compared to what you typically see. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this up now. I'll come back in a few days to a week to check on the queen, make sure that she escaped. And there we go. Just one last thing that we need to do here is put the entrance reducer in. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm gonna stuff this little hole here with a little bit of grass so that the bees can't actually leave the hive. And the reason I'm doing this is so that they can get accustomed to their new hive, so they don't think, oh, this is a foreign place, and they fly away. They actually stay here and know that it's their home. I'm so sorry about the camera angles this video, by the way. This has got to be tough to watch. I just got stung right through the face mask. I can't tell if the stinger's still in or not. If it's still in, then that's bad, because, you know, I'm allergic and all. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on this channel. I'm allergic to bees, and when I get stung, I have a pretty bad reaction. Right here.
Yeah, it's still in there.
You know, might have to use an EpiPen. Stuff the hole there with grass.
Yeah, I got it.
It was at that point that the camera died. It's one day later now, and all the hive packages did get successfully installed. I realized while I was working, once the camera died, that the grass in the entrances of the hives is for splits and not for packages, so that was a mistake that I made. So a lot went wrong, like a lot. And to start out with the most blatantly obvious, I got stung, and I actually got stung again this morning. I went to put my shoes on and there was a bee in my shoes, and luckily I reacted to that fast enough where I don't really think I'm gonna have too much of a reaction to that one, but I am having quite the reaction to the one on my chin. There was a couple points last night where I felt really woozy, and that was probably from the bee sting. I didn't have to use an EpiPen, which was good. And another good thing, it's not too noticeable from a front view. But yeah, more than that went wrong, and none of it was my friend's fault. She did great. Seriously, I literally could not have done it without her. She did a lot of the heavy lifting, since I can't really use this hand, which again just has the floppy glove on it. Sorry if some of the video was bad. As I said earlier, in the video, the tripod that I usually use broke right before I started moving on to the hives. And then with the bee packages themselves, I kinda wasn't happy with them. I'm gonna be honest. The company that I ordered them from, I've used them a lot in the past, and I've always been happy with them, but this year was not it. The bee packages were kind of set up weird. They were very, very fragile. One of the bee packages actually just split in half, which was really annoying, and I kind of wish I had gotten that on video. And then the queen cages. That's the part that was really strange to me. Typically, queen cages are set so that the candy is on the bottom, and there's like a little strap going up the side, and then there's like a little cork that blocks the sugar. And typically also the queen has attendants in there with her so that she can be fed. For whatever reason, none of the queens had any attendants, and the way the candy was blocked from the bees in the thing with that little strip made it a really, really, really annoying to actually get her into the hives. It ended up working out, but what really gets me is the fact that she didn't have attendants. Hopefully it all turns out fine, but I don't know how it's gonna go. Since I've set up the hives, there has been bad weather. In fact, I'm in the tent right now because the weather is brutal out. I could not be getting a video right now if I were out there, because the wind noise would just cover everything. I'll show you the bees here in just a couple of seconds, but this video, this is not the way I wanted it to go. Typically a little bit more structured, and that was not it. I guess you guys can learn from my mistakes. There was a lot of them. All right, now let's go take a look at the bees. All right, here are the bees. I don't know why they're doing this behavior. I have the I wish I could point with this glove, but I have the entrance on the smallest setting right now. And the reason for that is because the weather isn't great. And they're doing this kind of odd behavior where they're kind of bunching up around the entrances. Not this hive as much, but you also may notice there aren't any feeders on the hive, and that is deliberate. And the reason why is because the weather is colder than I would typically set up bees in. I didn't want extra boxes where there didn't need to be, but you don't have to worry about these hives starving. Each hive has about 40 pounds worth of honey in them from the previous hives that died over the winter, so they have more than enough food. But yeah, anyway, that's gonna be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you did enjoy the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.